The scope of what is possible in your life is determined by you. Who determines the scope of what is possible? Who determines the scope of what is possible in your life? The government? Your friends? Your family? Your pastor? Not even your pastor. Your prophet? Your mentor? Huh? Your guy in the office? From the scripture we read, you are the only one that determines the scope of what is possible in your life. A wise man says, if you say you can't, you are correct. If you also say you can, you are also correct. So it depends on what you choose to believe. One event was described two ways in Numbers 13. 12 people were asked to go and check a land. One land, the description were not the same. 2 said we are able to take the land. 10 said we are like grasshopper. We felt like grasshopper. The story you tell yourself is what controls your belief system. What story have you told yourself? The 10 who said they can't get to that land is not their own, they didn't get to that land though. They only spied. By the time they got back, while they were on their way going to the land, they died on the way, according to the scriptures. The only 2 in that generation that saw the land were those who told themselves the right story. You know something about story? It depends on the angle you look at stories. It depends on the angle you look at story. Now, you can look at your life and say you are a complete failure. That's a story you have told yourself. And said you have lost so much over the years. And you can look at yourself and say you are so full of wisdom because of the things you have been through. And that you have taken so much lessons. And there is still hope for you. It depends on you. You can rewrite your story. You can what? Can you ever imagine that the person that wrote half of the New Testament was a murderer? What do you call the person that kills other people? So now, apostle murderer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that the man God called his friend and he called him the father of faith was a moon worshipper? Can you imagine that successful people are ex-failures? So it depends on the story you have told yourself. They call it internal dialogue. The conclusions you have made about yourself. It doesn't, look, the story you tell about me cannot affect me like the story I tell about myself to myself.